Hello guys, you're welcome to today's class. In this particular video, we're going to learn how to solve some of the most difficult SAT questions you're likely to see on your test day. So of course, I'm going to show you how to solve all of this problem one step at a time. So we have about 6 of them here in this video, and let us get right into it. So we start with the very first question. Let's call this one question 1. So it says in the given equation, x and r are constants and x is positive. When you see this kind of inequality, x greater than 0, it means that x is positive because you know every number greater than 0, they are all positive numbers. So this is another way to say x is what? Positive. So take note of that. If the equation has infinitely many solutions, what is the value of x? Now, the most important thing we need to know here is this statement. The system has infinitely many solutions. So when do we say, not the system, sorry, this is not a system. This is just a single equation, not a system. So when do we say, what does it mean for an equation like this to have infinitely many solutions? All it simply means is that the coefficient of x in the left-hand side is going to be equal to the coefficient of x in the right-hand side because we're dealing with x right here, okay? So the coefficient of the variable in the left-hand side and the right-hand side has to be equal. Let me give you a quick example. If I have an equation like this, for example, this is an equation, okay? We have 6x, sorry. Yeah, so we have 6x plus 12. Now, look at this equation. This kind of equation has infinitely many solutions. You're going to see that in a moment. When you distribute this guy from here, you have 6x plus 12 in the left-hand side, and that is equal to 6x plus 12 in the right-hand side. You can see the coefficient of x here is 6, and the coefficient of x here is 6. So when this kind of thing is happening, the constant term is 12, the constant term here is 12. You just know that this system has infinitely many solutions. Yeah, just for you for more clarity, if you put any value of x there, you're going to get the same result. If you put x to be 1 here, put x2 will be 1 here. So you get the same numbers every single time you put any value of x. Okay, so it has infinitely many solutions, or there are infinitely many numbers for x that's going to satisfy this equation. That's why it has infinitely many solutions. So you understand it right now. The take home is that when the system has infinitely, when an equation has infinitely many solutions, this, guys, is going to look like something like this. So let us go right into this problem and start with it. Now, the very first thing I would like to do is to, I think I can factorize these guys, right? Let's factorize those guys. So, from this side, what is common from here? 4 is common. So if you factor out 4, what would you have? You have 4 into 3x plus 7, then all upon 4, then minus x upon 13 equal to, let's expand these guys, okay? Let's expand that guy. That will be rx minus 8r. So to this point, let's keep moving. Now, this 4, we cancel out this 4 definitely. And remember, this is x, please. This is x right here. So, and that is exactly what we want to find, the value of this x. So from this very point, we're having 3x plus 7 minus x upon 13 equal to rx minus 8r. Perfect, right? Now, if you look at this stuff very well, I told you for a system to have infinitely many solutions, the coefficient of the variable has to be equal in both sides. Now look at it here. Look at the left. This is the left hand side. Everybody before the equality sign is the left hand side, and after the equality sign is the right hand side, right? Now, what is the coefficient of x here in the left hand side? That is 3. So what's the coefficient of x here in the right hand side? That is r, right? So that means r is equal to 3, or 3 is equal to r, anyhow you want to put it. R is equal to 3 or 3 is equal to r. But that is not what they want us to find. They want us to find the value of x. So now we know that this guy has to be equal to this guy. So the next we want to look at for is that this constant term here has to be equal to this constant term here. Okay, that's going to be like 7 minus x upon 13 is going to be equal to minus 8r, right? But what is r? R is just 3. So if you put in 3 here, that would be like 8 times 3, right? And that is 24. That will be minus 24. And here you have 7 minus x upon 13. So you take this 7 to the other side, so we have minus x upon 13 equal to minus 24 minus 7. And you have minus x upon 13 equal to minus 31, right? Yeah, minus 7, minus 24 minus 7 is minus 31, right? So the next thing you want to do, of course, you can then cross and multiply like this. So you have minus x times 1 is minus x. And 31 times 13, let's do it here. 13 times 31. You have 3, you have 1, you have 9, you have 3, you have 3, you have 0, you have 4. That's 403. So that is minus 403. So you of course you divide the minus cancel out. So x is going to be equal to 403. So that's the solution for the first one. So the take home is if the equation, not system now, please don't get it wrong. If the equation has infinitely many solutions, it means that the coefficient of the unknown variable here has to be equal to the coefficient of the unknown variable here. That is exactly what we did here to compare R and 3. Okay, perfect. Let's go to the next question. Question 1 minute. All right. Yeah, this is question 2. Let's put it on the screen here. This is question 2. It says look at this equation here. It says the solution to the given system of equation is this. What is the value of x? 8x plus 7y. So in other words, if you can get the value of x and get the value of y, you just multiply it to this one and multiply it to this one and you add them up, you get the value, right? But if you look at it, can we actually factor out this particular number so that we just have 8x and 7y right there? That would be a lot of work for us to do. So simple thing to do here, if you look at this stuff very well, if you add these two equations, if we add them, this quantity plus minus this quantity will give us 0, definitely. Then this quantity plus this quantity will give us 8 of those quantity, right? And that would be equal to 12 plus 12 will give us 24. You see, I'm just adding the two equations. This one will cancel out when I add them up, right? So from here, we now have 8 into 7y equal to 24. You divide everybody by 8. And 7y equal to what? That would be 3, right? So 7y is 3. So do we need to start finding the value of y? It's not necessary because look at it here. We're looking for 7y and 8s. So now I have 7y is 3. I only just need to plug in 7y into any of this equation. Let me put it right here. So when I put 7y into this equation, that will become 2 into 8x plus 4. 7y is now 3, so that becomes 3 equal to 12. And 4 times 3 will give us 12 equal to 12. And this is 2 into 8x, right? And this one comes over, you have 2 into 8x equal to 12 minus 12, and that is 0. And here, you divide everybody by 2, right? Because we're looking for 8x. So 8x is just going to be what? 0. So now this guy is going to be 8s is 0, and 7y is 3, and that's going to be 3. Straight up. So let's go to the next question. Question 3, right? Is this question 3? Let me confirm, please. All right, 1 minute. I want to confirm if this is question 3. Okay, that is what it is. So we have question 3 right here on the screen. And let me put it on top of here. You have question 3 like this, question 3. So look at this one. This one is very, very interesting. It says, we have a table here for x and we have a table for y. And look at all of this value here. It says the table gives the coordinate of 2 points on the line. Yes, when x is k, y is 13. So when x is k, y is going to be 13. And in this case, when x is k plus 7, of course, y will be what? Minus 15. These are the 2 points, right? It makes sense. Now, the next line says, the y-intercept of the line is this. This is the y-intercept. This is where I need you to pay attention. The y-intercept, they said is what? K minus 5, comma, b. Now, they ask us to find k and b are constant. They want us to find the value of b. Now, take note. When you say y-intercept, what do you mean? Whenever you talk about y-intercept, x has to be 0. Hope you know that. So anytime you have a y-intercept, the value of x has to be 0. So this is the value of x here, and this is the value of y. So for you to have a y-intercept, this value of x here has to be 0. So the y-intercept always going to be 0 comma something, right? So that means this guy is going to be 0. Let me explain that for those of you who are still getting these things clearly. Let's say this is the x axis and this is the y axis, okay? Yeah, this is the x-axis and that's the y-axis. So look at this stuff right here. This is 0, okay? And look at this line that's move across here. This line caught this point on the y-axis and it caught this point on the x-axis. Now, this point, it's caught on the y-axis. This is what we call the y-intercept. This is the y-intercept. And this point it caught on the x-axis is called the x-intercept. So intercept means to cut. The point where the line cuts the x-axis is the x-intercept. The point where the line cuts the y-axis is the y-intercept. Now, let's say we have a value here. This is C, and we have a value. This is B. Of course, you know what will be the coordinate of C here. You know the value of x here is 0. That would be like 0 comma C. And what will be the coordinate of this x-intercept? That would be b comma 0 because the value of x here is b and the value of y is 0. So whenever you see the y-intercept, the x value is 0. Whenever you see the x-intercept, the y value is 0. So look at this, guys. This is the y-intercept. So this guy has to be 0. So that means k minus 5 has to be equal to 0 and k is equal to 5. And if k is equal to 5, and these are, if k is equal to 5, you definitely know that these guys will become 5 comma 13 and this guy will become 12 comma minus 15, right? Because 5 plus 7 is 12. So this is now the coordinate we have. Does it make sense? Yeah, perfect. So from here, we want to find the value of b. That is exactly what we want to find. We want to find the value of b. So, but can you get the slope from these two lines? You know, the equation of your line is in this form, mx plus b, all right? And now we know that this b here is the y-intercept, and that is what was given to us here, which is b. So this b is b. Then what is the slope? The slope is just, you can get the slope from these two lines. So remember, slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So these are your points. So this is like your x, this is like your y, and this is like your x, this is like your y. So this can be your x1, y1, y2, x1, x2. So minus 15 minus 13 will give us minus 28, and 12 minus 5 will give us 7, and that will give us minus 4. So the slope is minus 4. So we have minus 4x plus b equal to y. Now, for us to get the b, which is the y-intercept, right? So you can just take any of this point here and plug it right there. So we know that the line passes through the point 5 comma 13. You can just put it right here and get the b. This is like your x value, this is your y value. So that means your y is 13 and your x is 5, right? Equal to plus b. And 4 times 5 is 20. That would be like 13 equal to minus 20 plus b. And this comes over here, that becomes 13 plus 20 equal to b. And b has to be equal to 33. So that's the value of b, 33. So this is the third question. I hope you're getting this stuff right. Let's go to the fourth question. And perhaps you need one-on-one coaching. Of course, just check on the description of this video and you get my WhatsApp contact. You can just reach out to me if you need coaching for the SAT. So quickly, let's go over to question 4. This is the fourth question here, and we are really moving very fast. This is one of the equation one. This is an equation given to us, right? And then I said one of the two equations. So this is an equation. This is the first equation we have. They say one of the two equations in the system of linear equation is given. So that means they have another one that makes this equation 2. So the system has no solution. Which of the equation could be the second equation in this system? Is it this one? Is it this one? Which of them could be the second equation that would make this other equation to have no solution? Now, when you have a system of equation, right, and you're instructed that the system has no solution, what does it mean? It means that the lines are parallel. Yeah? So this is just a crash course. So when the lines are parallel, they have the same slope, but they don't have the same intercept. So that is when they have no solution. So when they have no solution, it means that the lines are parallel. And if the lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. Okay, their slopes are equal, but their y-intercept, the y-intercept for one, the y-intercept for the first line is not going to be equal to the y-intercept for the second line. That's the difference. Take note, when two lines have no solution, it means that they are having equal slope, but they don't have equal y-intercept, right? So the first thing I would like to do, I'd like to put this guy in the y-intercept form, right? So that becomes 36y equal to 3x plus 45. I'm just want to put it in the y-intercept form. So divide everybody by 36. So that would be like y equal to 3 upon 36x plus 45 upon 36. So y equal to 1 upon 12x plus 5 over 4. So this is the equation we have here. We just put it in y-intercept form. So this is the slope. This is the slope. Let's call it m1. The slope is m1, 1 over 12. So any of these equations right here that has this same slope is likely going to be the second equation. But take note, it must have the same slope but different y-intercepts. So now let's look out for it. This one, if you put it in y-intercept form, let's start with this one. In y-intercept form, it's going to be like y equal to 1 over 4x. This is out of it. This one is going to be y equal to the second line, right? If you multiply everybody by 1 over 4, that would be y equal to 1 over 12x. This one is likely going to be, because you can see the slope here is 1 over 12. Then this one, put it in y-intercept form. That would be y equal to 1 over 12x plus 15 over 12. What is 15 over 12? That's going to give us 5 over 4, right? 5 over 4. Okay, lastly, this one would be y equal to 1 over 36, 1 over 36x plus 15 over 12, which is going to give us 5 over 4. So this is what we have. Now, if you look at this one is out of it, this one is out of it. So the possible answers is this guy and this guy. Why? They have the same slope as what we have here. 1 over 12 is the slope here, and 1 over 12 is the slope here. So for the line to have no solution, they must have the same slope. So that's why I'm picking this guy and this guy. So which of them is not the final answer? If you look at it here, the y-intercept here is 5 over 4. This one is having the same y-intercept as 5 over 4. So this one is out of it. The y-intercept has to be different for it to have no solution. If they told you the system has infinitely many solutions, then this one will be the correct answer for infinitely many solution. Infinitely many solution, but this one is for no solution. Okay, I will explain that again. For no solution, they must have the same slope but different y-intercept. So you can see the y-intercept here is 0 plus 0. So it's different from this one, right? This one is 5 over 4. So, but when they have infinitely many solution, the equation has to be the same. So this one will be the case. So now for this case, the answer is going to be option B. All right, so this is what question number. I think I didn't put the question number. Let's go to the next one real quick. Okay, I think this might likely be the last question. Okay, no. That is not the last question. We have one more to go. I'm just trying to be as quick as possible. Yeah. All right, so we have the fifth question. This is the fifth question right now we are about to solve. And it says the graph of the equation, this is the equation, is a line in the xy plane where a and k are constant. Of course, it's a line in the xy plane, you know what it means, right? So they said that if the line contains the point this and this, what is the value of k? All right, this is really straightforward, right? This is really straightforward. So we want to just find k from here. And how do we solve this particular problem here? Okay, if you put it, if you try to put this stuff in y-intercept form, that would be like ky equal to minus ax plus 6, divide everybody by k. So I have minus a upon k x plus 6 upon k, right? That's what I want to do. So, this here is the slope. This is the slope, right? So, if I can get the slope from here, I'll just have to equate it to these guys, right? So what is the slope from here to here? The slope is, the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is like your x, this is like your y, this is like your x, this is like your y. You can call here the x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 minus y1 will be like minus 3 minus 6. This is minus 3 here, then this minus right here, and the other y1 has minus 6. So that's why I have to put it down so that you don't get confused. 0 minus, then we have another minus 2 again. Be careful here. So this will give us minus 3 plus 6, and here will give us 0 plus 2, and that will give us 3 upon 2, right? That's the slope, 3 upon 2. Does it make sense? Yeah, it's 3 upon 2. So that means minus a over k should be equal to 3 over 2, right? That is what it should be. It should be 3 over 2, right? Yeah, it should be 3 over 2. So I think from here we will not get the value of k because we have the a right here. We won't get the value of k. Okay, see what we're going to do right now. See what we're going to do right now. See what we are going to do right now. They said the graph of the equation in the xy plane where a and k are constant. When the line contains the point, what is the value of k? Okay, now we know the slope of the line. That's the very first thing we want to do. Let's come here. The equation of a line is going to be in this form, mx plus b, right? So we know the slope is 3 over 2. We know the slope is 3 over 2. So that would be like 3 over 2x plus b. And yeah, so we know the slope is that. So what else again do we know? Just 1 second. Okay, guys, I see it now. I see it now. Let's resolve this problem again. Okay? This is what I'm seeing from here. Okay, the first thing we want to do, let's put this guy in the y-intercept form. So we're going to have ax plus ky equal to 6. Then, of course, here we have ky equal to minus ax plus 6. And when you divide everybody by k, you have minus a over kx plus 6 over k, right? We want to find the value of k. Now, we can get this, but if you look at this stuff right here, look at this point, minus 2 comma minus 6. Look at this point, 0 comma minus 2. What does it tell you? This point tells you about the y-intercept, right? Because I told you whenever you have the y-intercept, the value of x has to be 0. So this is the y-intercept. This is the y-intercept point. So the value of the y-intercept is minus 3. The value of y on its intercept is minus 3. I don't know if you get it. So the y-intercept is minus 3, and this is the y-intercept here. So it means that 6 upon k has to be equal to minus 3. So you cross and multiply, you have 6 equal to minus 3k. Divide everybody by minus 3 like this, and k has to be equal to minus 2. So that's the value of k. Took us a long time, but we were able to figure it out. So k is actually minus 2. All right, let's go to the very last question for today's class. Yeah, this is the 6th question for today's class, question 6. So it says this is a system of equation. P is a constant, and this system has no solution. Take note, this is a system. When you have more than one equation, we call it a system. When a system has no solution, what does it mean? I already told you, when a system has no solution, it means that the slope are the same, but their y-intercept are different. So the very first thing I would like to do is to put them in their y-intercept form and compare their slope and, of course, find the value of p. So when this guy comes over to this side, we're going to have 3 over 2y plus 3 over 2y. And when this one comes to this side, we have plus 4. That will be 1 over 4x. Then we have plus 2 over 3 right here. Let's clean up this guy. This will give us 6 over 2, and that will be 3y equal to 1 over 4x plus 2 over 3. Yeah, this is like 6 over 2y. 6 over 2 is same as 3y, okay? Maybe you didn't get it. So now I'm going to multiply both sides by 1 over 3 because I want to get rid of this 3 in front of y. So multiply here by 1 over 3. So that becomes y. Here becomes 1 over 12x, and here becomes 2 over 9. So I'm successful. I've put the first equation in the y-intercept form. The slope here is 1 over 12. You can see it right here, 1 over 12. Let's do the same for this second, guys. So we're going to have this guy comes over to this side. So we have 1 over 2x. This guy comes over to this side. We have minus py equal to minus 3 over 2 plus 9 over 2, right? So that's going to give us minus py equal to minus 1 over 2x minus 3 over 2 plus 9 over 2. And this is minus py equal to minus 1 over 2x. Now, let's clean up these guys. That will give us 6 over 2. That's plus 3, right? Plus 3 straight up. And if you decide to now multiply everybody by minus to get rid of this negative sign here. So that becomes py equal to 1 over 2x minus 3, right? Now divide everybody by, multiply both sides by 1 over p to get rid of this p here. So you have y equal to 1 over 2p x minus 3 over p. Now this is the second equation. Let's bring it here. We have 1 over 2px minus 3 over p. Now, for these two guys to have no solution, it means that their slope has to be the same and their y-intercept has to be different. So what is their slope here? 1 over 12 has to be equal to 1 over 2p. And from there, we can get the value of p, isn't it? So you cross multiply, you have 2p equal to 12, and divide everybody by 2. So p has to be equal to 6. So this is the value of the answer. P is 6. So guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, of course, you know what to do. You subscribe and you share the video to other persons so that they can learn from this video as well. And if you want a one-to-one personal class on the SAT, just kindly check the description of this video. You're going to find my contact. You just write me and I'll respond as quick as possible. So I wish you guys all the best in your SAT test tomorrow. Have a wonderful day and bye-bye. God bless.